An insightful event recently brought together advocates and experts to tackle pressing issues, shining a spotlight on gender-based violence, harmful stereotypes, and the ongoing fight for equality and respect in society. The gathering aimed to educate, create awareness, and inspire actions on key issues, from the dangers of normalizing violence to the stigma surrounding HIV status and the broader definition of health. The program featured Bukola Adeomi, a gender and GBV specialist for the CDC, who emphasized the urgent need to challenge stereotypes and raise awareness about gender-based violence. She highlighted that education and awareness are powerful tools to combat these issues, and she underscored the importance of fostering a society where people feel safe to share their HIV status without fear of stigma. A significant part of her presentation focused on integrating GBV awareness into the police training curriculum. Adeomi stressed that law enforcement must be equipped with knowledge and sensitivity to handle such cases effectively, ensuring justice and support for survivors. In addition, she outlined the range of free services available to rape victims, including counseling, STD testing, and other forms of support. Importantly, these services are accessible to all genders, reflecting an inclusive approach to care and recovery. The event also delved into a broader discussion on the definition of health, emphasizing its connection to mental and social well-being. Participants explored how societal norms and harmful stereotypes affect individuals' overall health, urging collective actions to address these challenges. With engaging discussions and a call to action, this event highlighted the importance of creating a fairer and more inclusive society. It served as a reminder that through education, awareness, and active effort to challenge harmful norms, significant progress can be made towards achieving equality and respect for all.
So once again, my name is Bukola Adeomi, and I am the Gender and GBV Program Specialist for CDC. And so this means that I manage the Gender and GBV portfolio, because we need you. We need you to change and let people know that these things should not be happening. We need you to talk about it, and we need you to change some of those stereotypes, because people are living with this without even knowing it is wrong. You know, you're having a conversation with somebody, and then the person is telling you, oh, I didn't even know what I was doing. Those hurtful comments I was telling my spouse, those hurtful comments I was telling my friend, I didn't even know they were having those kind of impacts. So the first thing is to let people even know that this is what gender-based violence is and what it means. So that's the first thing. And that is how we can change stereotypes. People have lived with these things for years in their homes. Some people still believe that it's okay to hit a woman, right? So let me give examples. I didn't want to say it before, but let's say it. Some people believe it is still okay to hit a woman, and vice versa. Some also feel it is okay to hit their spouses. I'm not using husband or wives because this happens with partners, right? So I don't see wrong in it. So we have to let them understand that it is wrong. We need to respect the rights of every human being. No one should be discriminated. No one should be stigmatized, regardless who they are. And now bringing on the HIV piece, people should be able to share their status without being discriminated, without being stigmatized. They should feel free to share their status, and without feeling that I'll be abandoned once I share this information. For shelter, it's been a hurdle because CDC and PEPFAR cannot support or cannot provide a building. It's not part of our program. It's not part of our policy. So what we do is that we collaborate with other government agencies. We collaborate with stakeholders like the UN. I hear that they can. I haven't seen, but I hear they can. And besides that, we have shelters that the government actually has that are available. And in states like Lagos, where the government has taken up these issues, they have shelters where people can actually stay and they can leave their homes. So there are a few states, there are not many, but there are a few states like that where they have shelters. We follow up as much as we can to be sure that those cases do not just end on the gender desk. So we follow up to be sure that the person is being referred to the right places that they should go. Now, in terms of the attitude of the police, we have been training and training, but we see that training is not a long-term or sustainable plan. So we've been looking at how we can incorporate topics around gender-based violence, topic around human rights into the police curriculum. They all go through an academy. Every police person or every policeman or woman goes through a police academy. So we've been looking at how we can incorporate topics or sessions around GBV or modules on GBV into their curriculums, so that once they all go through that academy, they can all be trained and sensitized. Now we even need to sensitize more, not just the training, right? So that's what we're trying to do. It's a long haul, but I believe someday we'll get there. But right now, what we are doing currently is that we're training and we're collaborating much more with them until we're able to incorporate GBV into their curriculum. Now, for boys who are raped, what do we do? I think before I answer the question, I should talk about the minimum package. So the minimum package of services is that we provide the counseling, which is the first line response that she talked about. That's the first aid for GBV. And then we provide HIV testing services. And then we provide sexual transmitted infection, that's screening and treatment for sexual transmitted infection. And then we treat injuries that are not long-term. Now, for long-term injuries, that might, we might have to do that in collaboration with the facility. But once a person comes with physical injuries, wounds that are open, we treat. And all of these are free of charge. People shouldn't pay for it. And then we refer. We ensure that we refer adequately. And this means that we just don't write on the paper that we're referring a person, but that we follow up to be sure that the person got to where we referred them to, and to be sure that the person received the service that they were referred for. So for boys who are raped, they also have access to all these services. And one other service that we provide is the post-exposure prophylaxis, so that they do not contract HIV. So that we do. So for boys who are raped, they go through all of these services as well. We do not leave out boys at all. We also provide services for them. So boys, girls, young women, young men, we provide services for everybody. So once the person gets to the facility, they're able to access these services. However, the community, we also ensure that no one is left behind. So we work with the key stakeholders at the community, so that once the person approaches them or they identify anyone, then those people too are linked to all of these services. So I think we've made so much progress to the point that right now, if a person is not getting service, then it's because they are not speaking up. Because we have actually made a lot of progress, and I think someone already mentioned that. We've made a huge progress from where we were before. Now, in terms of the rehabilitation program, long-term, we, as CDC and PEPFAR, we do not want to do anything in silos, right? We want to collaborate with the government. So we work with the government. Right now, what we're doing, which I believe Victor would also speak some more about for long term, is that we're trying to ensure that people who have mental health care or need mental health care are actually receiving that. But we'll refer them once we screen. And once we find out the person is experiencing mental health or any mental challenges, we're able to counsel them and provide them some support for a while. But if the person needs a long-term care, then we refer that person to facilities where they will get the needed help. And then we follow up. The psychologist or the clinician or the psychiatrist follows up to ensure that that person is getting the needed help.
Yes, there have been increasing attention focused on gender-based violence. And we all know that it's not a coincidence. Seeing the epidemic of gender-based violence coming across our society these days, especially in these days of social media. So there's a need for us to create awareness, to engender this kind of platform, forum where we can discuss and exhaustively trash how we can reduce, if not eliminate, this kind of gender-based violence in our society. So at APIN, we have a very committed and dedicated staff that have been working in that area in all our states. with support, of course, from the CDC, and we welcome this interaction, this forum for us to share our thoughts, or also listen to all of the speakers that have been speaking today. And we hope that today's event will be another milestone in the drive to ensure that more awareness is created, and we strive collectively to reduce the incidence of gender-based violence in our society.
The WHO defines health as a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being, not just the absence of disease. And in the light of that definition, you look at the activities we engage in as mitigating or preventing gender-based violence. You'll know that, look, gender-based violence in whatever form, be it psychological, emotional, physical, or even economic, has deleterious effects on the complete health of survivors. And therefore, it behoves on us as an organization that is interested in the health and well-being of our people, as have been experienced, to mitigate their impacts on the overall welfare of the people. And therefore, we are inviting you here today to talk through what we have been able to do with funding from PEPFAR and working through our implementing partners to either alleviate the issues that survivors have passed through, or to prevent such GBV cases from happening at all.